Hello SLS 1101 students. This video is designed to walk you through your M3A1 assignment for the course labeled the Self-Portrait assignment. This assignment is one of the more complicated assignments of the semester as it has a lot of moving pieces which you put together to make up the totality of the assignment. So be sure to pay special attention to the video here and reach out to your instructors if you have any additional questions. First, having a look at your schedule of activities, specifically the study assignments, because the study activities will play a huge role in completing your self-portrait assignment down here, and I want to label those out for you now. It's very important before you begin the self-portrait assignment that you've completed at least Chapter 4 of your textbook, so read through Chapter 4. M3S2 is a multiple intelligence assessment that comes out of your textbook on pages 82 to 85. You'll need to have those results for your self-portrait. M3S3 is the personality spectrum assessment. That one's also in Chapter 4 of your textbook. That's page 85 through 89, and you'll need those results for your self-portrait assignment. This Module 3 Study Activity 4 is going to take you the longest. This one does not come from your textbook, but rather the IRSC website, and I'll walk you through how to collect those results momentarily. It's called the Building Excellence Assignment, and we'll walk you through how to complete that in just a moment. So having a look at those study activities, you have another study activity here at the bottom, M3S5, and you can have a look at that one for this week's assignment, and it will apply more to next week's assignment, M3A2. So we'll come back to that one in the future as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and have a look inside of your course. We'll go into Module 3 together. So we're in the Module 3 study activities right now, which just elaborate on the items I just mentioned to you: the multiple intelligence assessment, the personality spectrum, the building excellence, the one that I said was going to take you the longest, and you can see the directions are included down here for how to complete that building excellence assignment, and I'll walk you through that again in just one moment. And then here's the other video, Module 3 Study Activity 5, which you can complete as part of this assignment or your next assignment and feed into that next activity. So going into the building excellence, be sure to read these instructions carefully. It does take a little bit of thought to be able to get into this assignment, but to walk you through at least the first couple of steps, you'll go to the IRSC website, you'll log into My IRSC, you'll log into your account, type in your student ID and your password, and you should be familiar with this process, and it should bring you into a screen that you have seen before. Where you'll go to complete the BE is underneath the virtual campus where it says information. You'll click that and it says BE survey. So you'll click on the BE survey, you'll fill out the information regarding your specific answers here, select submit, and that will bring you into the last couple of steps to start that BE survey, which will take about 20 minutes or so to complete. One other important topic about the BE survey is that once you take the results, or once you take the assessment, it's going to give you the results, and it's really important that you either print those results out or that you save them to a PDF where you can find them later, because once you click off of that screen, it's very difficult to get your results back again. So once you have that display at the end of the assessment and it shows you your BE results, save them somehow. Either you print them out, you can do the PDF, or email them to yourself in another way, but make sure you have those because you'll need these results not only to complete the self-portrait for this class and this week's assignment, but you may need them in the future as well. So definitely hold on to those assignments. You'll click submit, and then you'll follow the rest of the instructions here. It will eventually ask you for a 5-digit access code, and it's right here on Blackboard. So you'll type in 2DN7N. That will launch the survey for you, and then you can complete the BE. And this is just saying what I reiterated earlier about making sure that you print or save your work, because it'll be difficult to get that back again. So that's one of the major notes regarding your study activities. Have a look at all of them, and then once you're through with your study activities, let's have a look at your assessments folder for this week. Going into Module 3 now. The first assignment in Module 3, and what we're focusing on now, is called M3A1, the self-portrait assignment. And you can see where there's a lot of information here that makes up this assignment. So you've got 8 total items to collect. Some of these you've already done. Some of them you'll need to take for the first time now as part of your study activities. I want to highlight those for you now. This is your successful intelligence assessment here. You took that as part of Module 1. That would have been Module 1 Study Activity 5, and it came from page 24 of your textbook. So if you already have those results, collect those before you begin your assignment. If you have lost those or you need to take it again, be sure to take that. The emotional intelligence assessment also came from Module 1 of this class. That would have been Module 1, Study Activity 6. And that was an online assessment where you clicked a link there and you went to the emotional intelligence assessment and you collected those results. So if you still have those, you can use them for this assignment. If not, be sure to go back to Module 1, Study Activity 6 now and take that before you begin. Number 3 here goes to the values. The values also came from a previous module. That would have been Module 2, Study Activity 2. So if you want to go back to Module 2 and collect those results, you'll need that for this assignment also. This came from the internet as well. This link is currently giving me trouble when I click on it, but if you go back to Module 2, that link should work for you. So those are 3 items already. 3 of your 8 total, which hopefully you already have, or at least have gotten started on in the past. Collect those 3, and let's keep going. This is one of your study activities this week, so that one is the building multiple intelligences there. This is the personality spectrum. That's one of your study activities for Module 3, so once you collect that, hold on to your answers. Part 1 and Part 2 here are both related to that building excellence assessment, which I mentioned previously, so that's the longer one. Because it's longer, you're going to break it into 2 total parts. But if you look at your total items required for this assignment, these 3 came from previous modules. These 4 here will come from the study activities in this module. And the last one to tackle here is preferred teaching styles. That's not a study activity, but it is out of your textbook on page 90. So that's one you haven't collected yet. But what you do is you go through and you collect the information for all 8 of these resources and have those handy, because what the assignment is you go to one of these resources here and you put together all of your results from all 8 of those surveys in something called a mind map, and that's what's going to represent your self-portrait assignment. And we'll do that together here in just one moment as well. So collect the information. There's a couple different methods you can use down here at the bottom for creating your mind map. Microsoft Word is an option. It's a little bit more work. I personally recommend this method here, Coggle, and I'll walk you through that website here in just one moment. Another option here is below, and then you could always write this by hand as well and either scan it or take a digital photo and send that in for your work if you want to do a mind map by hand. We'll review the rubric very last, but for now, let's go to the Coggle website by clicking this link, and I'll walk you through the first couple steps of Coggle. So once you sign in for the first time, Coggle's free. It will use a Google account if you have one to create your account for free. Once you have signed into Coggle for the first time and you have all 8 of your results already handy, what you want to do is create a diagram, and you're going to start populating your results in. And so you start right here in the middle, click to edit the title. You can title it whatever you'd like in your case. I'll call it the Shearer Self-Portrait. And once you have your title, you're going to end up needing 8 arms to make this assignment work. So start adding arms to your mind map. So there's 1 arm, 2, 3, 4, and then you go back and click these plus signs again for 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So there's 8 total assessments that you've taken as part of the class and 8 that you're putting together to gather your results. You're going to label each of these arms as the 8 different assessments that you're taking for the assignment. So go to the arms and start labeling them the 8 different names from the instructions. So there was multiple intelligences. You can spell that one out. There was the personality spectrum. I'm going to abbreviate here for the sake of time. There was the building excellence, that's the longer one, so label an arm building excellence. There was the values part of the assignment, I'll just label that V for the sake of the video. Going down, there was also successful intelligences. There was emotional intelligences. There was the preferred teaching style, and then the reason why I have an extra arm left over is the BE is broken down into parts 1 and 2. So we'll say BE1 and then BE Part 2 as well. And those are the 8 different arms that make up your answers for the self-portrait assignment. And I'm just getting those from these 8 items here. So I'm not just making these up. These are the 8 that are labeled on your instructions for the assignment. So label each of those appropriately. Go back to your mind map, and the whole point of doing this is to represent your results for each of these cases. So go into your personality spectrum and start adding arms and talk about your results from the personality spectrum. I would recommend at least 3 or 4 of the highlights that stuck out to you the most. For building excellence, there's going to be a lot of results, so split them into half and half. On the first half, put the first 3 or 4 things that stood out to you on the building excellence. On the value, add 3 or 4 values and edit those in. On the successful intelligences, there's 3 successful intelligences, so label each of those and let us know how you did on them. Multiple intelligences, same thing. And so continue going through your mind map. You'll click to edit one last time and you'll type in your personal responses into the boxes below and populate all that information in. Once you have all of your responses for all 8 arms of the self-portrait, the last step is to save your work. So come down over here and download your image. Save it as a PDF, label it, and it will be that PDF is what you'll upload to the assignment to get your credit. So populate all the answers, save as a PDF, go back into your assignment like usual now, click the title, that will bring you to the Dropbox for the assignment. Scroll down, browse your computer, upload that PDF you just saved, and submit, and you'll be all set for the self-portrait assignment, and that'll be graded shortly. One last thing I want to show you before wrapping up this video. I know it's a little bit longer of a video, but it's a longer assignment. I want to go through the rubric with you just to show you how easy it is to max out on credit for this assignment. Let's have a look at that together. This is the rubric for the self-portrait assignment. Basically, all of your points come from each of those arms. Some are worth more points than others because some of these you already have the answers to ideally. So successful intelligences, hopefully you already have that answer because it came from Module 1, so it's 2 points. To get full credit, make sure you list all of your results, any phrases that you need to put in there, any reference to a study activity that you think would be applicable there, and you'll notice that the full points for these pretty much remain constant all the way down the columns here. So whether it's successful intelligence or emotional intelligence, or your values, going all the way down to personality spectrum, building excellence parts 1 and 2, that's the longer one. The verbiage here is pretty much the same. List all your results, put any phrases that you feel are applicable to your results, any references to the study activities, but make it purposeful to you. Have a full idea of what you want to represent as your answers for the self-portrait. Going all the way down to preferred teaching style, that one comes out of your textbook, so locate the responses to that, cite your evidence on the mind map, and the very last thing is just organization and neatness, and the mind map software should take care of that for you. Otherwise, if you have any specific questions, reach out to your instructor, but that should wrap up the Module 3 study assessment 1 for this week's video, and I hope that helps, and have a great day.